All right, folks, we're going to talk a little bit of business. We're going to talk a little bit about history, and we're going to talk about future. And particularly, why am I bringing this up? It's EV, electric vehicles. Again, I've said it before, General Motors has got this very ambitious plan. And if you go on social media, the silent majority think this is a good idea, but the loud voices are the ones, those are the people that making the comments, making the laughing faces, maybe give a thumbs down. But I'm going to show you something. There's this little term called S-curve in business growth. And as you can see with this graph, in the beginning is the infancy, where only a few people know about it, and a couple of people jump in. Then all of a sudden, slowly gathers steam, and it goes up, and then all of a sudden, it saturates the market. And I'm gonna give you a couple examples of this. One, Steve Jobs never told anybody that they wanted an iPod. All he did was tell people, you don't need CDs anymore, you're gonna carry around 1,000 songs in your pocket. Digitized music, the MP3 wasn't needed to be put on a CD anymore, it was put into an iPod. Jeff Bezos, he had a really brilliant plan, kind of copied the idea of what Steve Jobs had done with his Kindle. Now you think about this for a second. The Kindle was a digital e-reader for books. Everybody knew what a book was, but now all of a sudden you had an e-reader, and it wasn't necessarily affordable back in the day. You figure a Kindle cost $400 and the average book cost $10. Now the average person doesn't even have 40 books, let alone would buy 40 books. So to tell people to spend $400, it wasn't like the Kindle was for the masses, but for the people who thought this was a really good idea, they jumped all over it. Now I'm gonna get back into a couple of things. We're talking about electric vehicles here. Now, electric vehicles are not new by any means. Like General Motors was producing electric commercial vehicles back in 1912, and back then the company had a choice of gas or electric. I'm not here to tell you what won out at the beginning, but you know, as time went on, eventually General Motors invented the EV1, which is their first mass-produced electric vehicle. Tesla came up with their Roadster in 2003. And you have to admit, Tesla now is easily the straw that stirred the drink. They're the company that is making waves. And why I have so many of these legacy builders that are jumping in on board in order to get into it? Because that's where the sales are going. Now I say this, we're gonna go back to the social media comments. Now Mary Barra has gone on record on Instagram, believe it or not, to say General Motors is going to have 9 EVs available for sale in the United States in the very, very near future. Now, if you look at this comment, right, a majority of the people actually like this. You can see down here, 870 people actually think that's a good idea. Where, you know, but what do people see? The one long, opinionated, negative comment saying this isn't a good idea. And then if you go on LinkedIn, which is a very forgivable, forward-thinking social media platform, you know, they announced that the EV work truck is coming for fleet customers. Now you can check down here at the bottom, you know, over 200 people think this is a really good idea. And if you had the chance, you read the comments, a lot of people are on board that this will actually save them money as a company. But if you go over to Facebook and you feel like abusing yourself and torturing your brain for a little bit, lots of negative comments. But that's because what you see. If you look down in here when they introduced, you know, the RST Silverado is coming, you can see over 6,000 people thought it was a really good idea. 2,000 people do not think it's a good idea. So give or take about a third of the people, I get it, they don't like it, right? And most of the comments are from the people, the experts who want to express their opinion. Now let's go back to the S-curve. You know, do you think when Steve Jobs introduced the iPad that people really wanted to get rid of their CDs? No, not at all. Can you find a CD nowadays? Yes, in a used CD store, right? All I'm saying is we are in the infancy of the future that is about to change. And I keep saying this to my stepfather all the time, you either follow technology or you get left behind.